They said it was a fluke. They said China just got lucky. They said American tech was untouchable. And then DeepSeek did it again. A brand new model just dropped. And if the early signals are right, big tech has a serious problem. But this isn't just another AI launch. This is a story about banned microchips, a secret facility in the Mongolian desert, accusations of industrial espionage, and a tech giant that's pointing fingers while it has dirt on its own hands. And what's really happening behind the scenes? Let's just say, it makes last year's DeepSeek shockwave look like a press release. This might be the most consequential AI story of 2026. Let's start with what we actually know about DeepSeek V4. Last year, a Chinese company shocked the world by claiming it trained a frontier-level AI model for under $6 million. Now they've released a more powerful version. Early reports suggest it pushes the efficiency envelope even further, with 40 times cheaper API pricing compared to US models. The headline numbers are grabbing attention. 27 cents per million tokens, compared to roughly $15 per million tokens for OpenAI or Anthropic. On performance, V4 is reportedly competitive with top-tier Western systems. Some early commentary claims it's as good as Claude Opus at coding, but far cheaper. It's also scoring highly on reasoning benchmarks, the kinds of tests that measure problem-solving, math, and structured thinking. Then there's context length. DeepSeek V4 reportedly handles up to 1 million tokens of context without degrading performance. That means it can remember and reason over extremely long documents, entire books, codebases, or multi-day conversations. Most leading models operate at a fraction of that scale. And then there's the training cost. The company claims V4 was trained for around $10 million, compared to the hundreds of millions it costs to train Western frontier models like GPT-4. If accurate, that radically changes the economics of building better AI models. And once again, it was built without the cutting-edge Nvidia chips that the US has banned from export to China. Or so they claim. Because here's where the story gets interesting. According to a Reuters report citing a senior government insider, DeepSeek trained its newest model using Nvidia's most advanced chips, the Blackwell series. There's just one problem. Those chips aren't supposed to be in China. The Blackwell series is currently banned from export there. So the obvious question is, how did they get them? US officials allege a highly sophisticated smuggling operation. The claim involves fake overseas data centers set up as fronts. Chips reportedly shipped out in pieces, disassembled and mislabeled to pass through customs. Then, once inside China, reassembled and deployed. And where were they allegedly used? A remote data center in Inner Mongolia. A location chosen, officials say, for 3 reasons: isolation, inexpensive land, and access to enormous amounts of electrical power. But here's the detail that really raises eyebrows. Officials claim that DeepSeek wiped the hardware fingerprints from the model before release. They erased technical traces that could reveal which chips were used during training. Nvidia says the smuggling accusations are unsubstantiated. DeepSeek has previously denied using banned hardware. Yet US officials are doubling down. But just as these accusations were coming to light, a second scandal was already brewing. And the timing of these allegations? Not a coincidence. This one involves a name you definitely know. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, publicly accused DeepSeek of running what it calls industrial-scale distillation attacks. Here's the plain English version. DeepSeek allegedly created 24,000 fake accounts on Anthropic's platform. Those accounts generated more than 16 million conversations with Claude, carefully engineered to extract its most advanced capabilities, including agentic reasoning, tool use, and complex coding. Their goal? Copy those outputs straight into training DeepSeek's own model. In other words, DeepSeek used Claude to build a Claude killer, for free. It's a serious allegation. But then someone asked a very uncomfortable question. How did Anthropic train Claude in the first place? Because here's the thing. Anthropic built its models on massive datasets lifted from the internet. Books, articles, code, conversations. Most of it without the permission of the people who created it. Anthropic is currently facing lawsuits and a massive settlement claim over unauthorized data use. A settlement is rumored to be in the billions. Critics like Elon Musk were quick to highlight the irony that one company's training data is another company's stolen intellectual property. Now, to be fair, there is a legal distinction between using publicly available data to train your model versus creating fake accounts to hack your competitors' outputs. Those aren't the same. But the optics? The optics are terrible. And in the court of public opinion, it looks like the pot calling the kettle black. Either way, it hands DeepSeek a powerful narrative advantage. So what does this mean for you? Let's go back to 2025. DeepSeek releases R1, and within 24 hours, Nvidia stock dropped 17%. $600 billion in market cap erased. The Nasdaq falls 3%. All because a Chinese lab showed that you didn't need to spend billions on hardware to build a world-class product. Now here we are again. New model, new allegations, and Nasdaq futures are already on edge. American tech giants have committed $700 billion to AI infrastructure this year. That bet only makes sense if scale beats the competition. They're risking it all on the biggest clusters, the most chips, and the most power. But now DeepSeek can match that performance using restricted chips sourced through backchannels and deployed in Mongolian data centers. What exactly is big tech buying with its $700 billion shopping spree? If scale isn't the moat, what is? Consider the big picture for a moment. What's happening isn't about one AI model or chip smuggling scandal. It's about China's 20-year push for geopolitical and global technology dominance. China has been slowly but steadily assembling the individual pieces for a complete technology stack. Telecommunications infrastructure is led by companies like Huawei. They have taken the lead in batteries and EVs through firms like BYD. Solar manufacturing continues at unprecedented scale. And now they're presenting competitive AI systems. And state-backed financing helps export the entire package to 120 countries around the world. DeepSeek isn't an isolated breakthrough. It's a byproduct of that system. China's AI capabilities continue to improve steadily, strategically, and at scale despite export controls and restricted access to chips. It proves that the U.S. export control strategy is not working as intended. It proves that efficiency can beat brute force. That's the real story. And it's only getting started. Banned microchips, secret data centers, stolen model outputs, and the accusers with their own skeletons in the closet. Whether DeepSeek delivers on the hype or not, the story around it is already reshaping how the world thinks about AI and China. If this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button and drop your opinions in the comments. Do you think Anthropic's accusations are valid? Or is this the ultimate case of the pot calling the kettle black?